What's up, fellow Walking Dead fans? Solid Dave Snake here, bringing you a new review on the Walking Dead building sets by Mcfarlane Toys. And in this review, we're going to take a look at the Woodbury assault vehicle. And just like with the Dell's RV, this is another very big build. And for me, the two vehicles have been the hardest builds thus far in these Walking Dead building sets. But even though they are the hardest builds, they have come out the best in my opinion as well. This Woodbury assault vehicle and Dell's RV, the finished product on both of them looks great. And we'll just dive right into this review and start off with the two minifigures that come with this. And the first one is hidden in this net back here. If you remember during Season 3, whenever we saw this Woodbury assault vehicle, they were using it to haul zombies back from the pits to Woodbury. So this is the lone zombie you get in this set, which he looks pretty cool. Just a random male walker, blue shirt and khaki pants. A lot of blood on him. Has very good detail all over. Can even make out his belt going around his waist. And the weathering on these little minifigures is really nice. You see all the black washed in with those khaki pants. Looks really good. Give you a little bit of a closer look at the face. Blood all around the mouth and nose. So it's pretty cool. And the net function works okay. We'll get into that here in a bit when we go over the vehicle. You could fit a couple of them in there, but the hook really isn't big enough to hold the net that well. But the figure I was really happy we got in this set, and surprised we got, and that's Shumpert, one of the governor's lackeys. Really surprised we got a minifigure of him. They really could have even put a Martinez in this set too, and I'm surprised they didn't go with him instead of Shumpert. But I'm happy we get him, and he looks great in a little minifigure form. Really looks a lot like the actor that played him. Very bulky figure as well, which he should be, as he was in the show. And a lot of detail in his outfit. That orange undershirt and white shirt over that. Jacket. A lot of pouches on the jacket. Give it a little extra detail. Cargo pants. And he comes with an AK-47 that fits in his hand really nice. A lot better than some of these other figures. And it's the same one that came with that Rick in the prison tower set. But I'll stick it back in here and you can see how well he holds it. Nice and tight. And the neat thing about Shumpert is, just like with Dell and his RV, he comes with lower legs as well, so you can pull them apart and have them in a sitting position with these legs for inside of the assault vehicle. And pull this up a little closer so you can see how he sits in here. And the doors do function on this assault vehicle. And you kind of have to put them in ahead of the steering wheel and slide them in is the best way to get them to sit. But he doesn't totally sit flush in there. But good enough. So that's pretty cool. And we'll just leave Shumpert there for the rest of the review. And now we'll take a look at this thing from front end to back end. Well, before I do that, let me show you the instruction manual real quick. This is a thick one. 401 pieces, so it makes 85 steps. And of course it shows how you build the figures, which is pretty self-explanatory. But building this assault vehicle, you kind of start from the frame and work outwards. I just wanted to point that out. And there are some tough steps, but we'll get into that as we go on. Flip to the back page. And there you can see it's 85 steps. So, from the front end of this Woodbury assault vehicle, really looks exactly like the vehicle looked in the show. Got a winch on the front. Nice detail on the headlights. The bumper. Got the exhaust coming out of here on the side. Which that piece might be a little hard to fit in. So it may take some heating up to fit in there. Now these windows, I wish they were a little more clear. They're so dark you can't even really see through them. And of course the doors are functioning on both sides. And the dash is kind of like the RV in there, where it's a soft piece you have to get in and then stick the steering wheel in afterwards. Now this tarp piece that fits back here, this is soft as well, and it doesn't necessarily want to fit in flush. It kind of leans back on the bottom, if you can tell. So you almost want to kind of pull that up and just have it sitting on top, since it doesn't want to plug in all the way, if you want that straight. Because when you try to plug it in, it kicks to the back on the lower end. Gas tank turned out really nice. Even have little footsteps here outside of the door. And these tires, they work really well. If you lay them on the ground, they will all move except for the back ones. There's something with the back ones where they don't hit totally flush on the ground. And these tires are an absolute pain to get on. Getting the inside of the wheel, inside of the tires, is really tough. And will be hard for a lot of people. So just give you a heads up on that. And another thing that kind of bothered me, but it looks really great in the end, are these little 4 side pieces here. Because they are soft rubber and you have to fit them in there. Kind of reminded me of the governor's room, whenever you put the heads in the fish tanks, the same kind of material. However, the pieces that you stick them into are so far back, you can tell with this one right here how it's kind of pushing in on the bottom. It's kind of tough to push them in as far as it looks good, if that makes sense. If you push too hard, they'll go all the way back in and you'll get a big lip right here. So that was kind of frustrating, but they look great in the end. I just hope if Mcfarlane has to use that technique again, they work it out a little better and don't make those pieces so deep for these aesthetics right here. But another part that was tough were these posts that run up and down here on the side. The way they have it in the instruction manual, they fit in kind of tight, so be wary of that as well. But besides that, everything else was relatively simple to put on, no other problems. The inside of the truck bed really looks nice. I love it. I love how they used these wood panels for the floorboards and used them on the outside railing. Looks really nice. And then we got a crane here in the middle, which it is functioning all around. You can raise it and lower it right there at those hinge points, and even wind it up, that string right here, to go in and out. However, the string itself is not that very long. It could have been a little longer. And the way the net is, I have a little bit of a problem with this too, because the hook isn't big enough to really hold it the way they have it in the picture. And a lot of times you'll just end up having it like this when it should go up on 4 sides. It should look like this from the way they have it in the picture, but it always ends up falling out to only 2 sides. So may have to do a little tinkering to get it looking the way you want in your dioramas, or just how you have it displayed. But all in all, it is a nice feature for this set. And the actual top part of the crane, you can wedge the line in right up top here. I'll show you. I'll pull it out so you can have it hanging down, or you can pull it all the way in like that. And not too much detail on the back, but there is a functioning back to the door. for the tailgate. And then you can see the Lego pieces right here. And there's even mud flaps down here on the bottom. Give you a look at this side. However, it is exactly the same as the other. However, in place of the gas tank, we get a spare wheel. So that's kind of cool. And even the mirrors, side mirrors, turned out really nice. There's one in there nice and easy. So all in all, the final product of this build is really great, but putting it together is a little bit of a pain, and it took me in between 2-3 hours, about 2.5 hours you might say. So if you pick this up, get ready to put some time into building it. But all in all, if you collect these building sets, I think this is a must pick up. High recommendation in my book, and really makes me look forward to seeing what other kind of vehicles Mcfarlane has planned in the future for these Walking Dead building sets. So, alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review, and stay tuned because I will have the prison catwalk review coming up next for these building sets. So I'll catch you then.